process I'm about to walk you through is tick for tack, like has worked for multiple people. And I actually have examples here. I believe I walked you guys through this one specifically last week, going over the 24, 48-hour Equifax deletion method directly through the portal. So basically, to keep things short, it's actually very easy step by step. And as I walk you through these methods, you're just gonna see everything is picture format. Like I really don't even need to go through the actual portals to show you guys that this stuff has worked, because it's all here live, right? So, anyone that watches this specific video that I posted is gonna also see the step-by-step process, but also be able to follow the sequence, right? Now, this is specifically related to the FTC process, right? Because you want to have filled out affidavits to do these successfully. So you want to be able to submit affidavits along with your disputes using these 24, 48 hour deletion process for this to work, right? All of this is under the FTC dispute process because all of it goes hand in hand. So you want to make sure if you're just getting started with this, is going through all of this step by step, right? Getting your affidavit filled out and then going right into the deletion method. But for starters, if you were already on the last call, I walked everyone through pretty much how to dispute through the Equifax portal. And really, you're just looking to log in and start and check on a dispute update. Then step two, you're going to follow this process, selecting this, right? Select the account. Once you select the account, you're going to copy and paste this word for word, right? After selecting this option, right in this comment box, right? Now, this has been created to fit every single word here, right? It can't fit any more than that. So it's word for word. So you can't really change or modify this. And two, I don't recommend it because this is what works, right? So this was a specific count that was disputed. Now, as you can see, we went on to uploading all the documents here in this section, and we reviewed this for submission. Once it was reviewed for submission, we'd submit the dispute, right? So now we're on the page where we're confirming that everything is what it says. We copied and pasted the comment section, and then we moved forward with the document upload, right? We uploaded the FTC report, ID, proof of address, and social, and then submitted dispute, right? Now that that's been disputed, you have confirmation here that these items were disputed. And now that they're disputed, you're going to wait 24 to 48 hours for results, right? So just to show you some real live, real-time examples of how this worked, right? So this was on this specific date, the 27th, where this one had taken place. All right, it had been submitted on the 27th. As you can see, it was under investigation the 27th, right? So on the 28th, right, you can see it's still the same date, 27th, and it was completed the next day. And these were the dispute results. So whenever you dispute online directly through the portal, Equifax specifically responds through the portal. But when you submit a dispute through the CFPB with Equifax, they're going to mail you your results. So you'll get it in the mail within around 7 days, I believe. But because you're doing it through the portal, you're going to get this specifically in 24 to 48 hours directly through the portal, which is more efficient. And it's going to give you a result. So you could see here that it came out the next day, the very next day, and this was the result, right? The item came off, right? Which was fairly quick, just fairly quick. And it's going to be pretty similar for the rest of the process, right? Because as we move on to Experian, the Experian portal is a little different, right? You're not actually logging into any of your accounts. And we recently just discovered this method and we figured we'd give it a try. And we tried it with a few clients and it worked. It worked. And, I'm going to walk you through how quick and easy it is because again, all of this stuff is copy and paste for you guys. It's literally copy and paste. So, let's say, for example, you have an account that you want to remove, specifically a collection, charge off, um, and or any negative item you want to remove, right? This isn't a process you would use specifically for late payments because it's handled a little bit different, right? Later on, I will try different methods to dispute late payments through the direct portals to see if that also helps with speeding things up. But for now, this is specifically to completely remove accounts and not dispute negative information on them, right? So in this particular step, you're going to select this option, right? Then you're going to copy and paste this word for word right onto this block right here. It's going to go right here. And then from there, you're going to upload the following documents, right? The social ID, proof of address, and FTC affidavit right here. Make sure that there are PDF and PNG format because the portal will not accept things like screenshots and other formats. So you want to make sure you follow what this says, right? It tells you here PDF, PNG, JPEG, GIF, right? These are the only acceptable formats. Anything else, it's not going to work for you guys. But it's not very much that you're submitting here. Again, this script is exactly 1,000 characters or 1,000 words, and it fits here exactly to the T. So you have to copy and paste exactly what it says. And from there, it will look like this, right? So you're on step 2 where you're uploading your files, submitting all of your statements, and also selecting the type of report you're submitting. And this is what it looks like on the third and final step, right? And you're going to just confirm, yes, this is correct, and submit. And once you submit it, it looks like this, right? It'll tell you that you received the confirmation for your uploaded documents, and then you just wait 24 to 48 hours. Now, if you don't get any results within that time frame, just do it again, especially for this portal, this specific portal, right? Because Equifax won't allow you to if it's still an active dispute, or if the item's been removed, you don't need to worry. But for this specific Experian portal, you can resubmit after 72 hours if it's not off. Now, in regards to the results, this is how it looked, right? So this was literally recently. This was on the 7th, right? Are you seeing what that score says? All right, now check out the 8th, what that says. Right? We had a client had an item reinstate. We resolved it with this exact method. So an item came back randomly, and you know they messaged our team and they were like, "Hey, this item came back. What do we do?" And we went ahead and submitted it directly through the portal, the dispute, and within 24 hours, it went from 590 to 749, right? And these are real live results, guys, right? Same exact points, right? You can't make this up. This happened within a day of each other. Item reinstatement to item being deleted the very next day. And the third and final process through TransUnion, this is also pretty straightforward, right? You select the link, you go to the dispute. All right, I told you guys, I'm walking you guys tick for tack, everything. You don't have to figure anything out. You're selecting every option I've laid out for you guys. Start new request. All right, you're gonna select the account. You're gonna hit yes, continue. All right, select account not mine, click continue. All right, you're gonna select this option, click continue. Copy and paste exactly word for word. It will only fit. As you can see, there's 0 characters left. You can't actually fit anymore. So what I put here worked. It worked, right? We're requesting that they prove, and this goes for all 3 bureaus. We're requesting they prove that they had contacted the FTC to verify the affidavit, as well as we request the name of the persons. Remember, the persons also means the corporation, the company that was contacted to validate this reinstated account or delete the account, right? And this law right here specifically enforces their method of verification or investigation. So how did they go about verifying this stuff to then be able to put it back, right? And from what I'm going to be showing you later, 100% of the time, they don't actually provide any proof. So what do they end up doing in turn? Deleting it, right? So the next step is uploading your documents. Once again, same documents, FTC affidavit, social, proof of address, right? And for clarity, proof of address can be, pay stub. It could be, a bill, utility bill, could be a lease agreement, anything that has your address on it, right? Proof of address. Now, this only allows up to 5 GB or megabytes of documents. So sometimes if your file is too large, it won't accept multiple documents. But if you have multiple affidavits, you may have to, shrink them a little bit so they fit if you have too many, or you may have to submit multiple attempts, right? Which would mean in this particular case, it'll take, a few attempts if you have multiple affidavits, right? Because the only way to do it all at once is to have smaller size documents, right? And that's the only solution I found for this particular problem is sometimes you may not have enough space to upload all your documents, but that is a case by case. Some people aren't going to have that issue, some are, and if you are, that's what we got this campus for. We're here to find solutions. You're going to review your disputes, right? Make sure everything's submitted, right? All your documents, the statement, right? The reasons and the account. You're going to submit it. And then take a look here. A dispute has been submitted, right? It has been submitted. Now pay attention to when the screenshot was taken, guys. The screenshot was taken on the 7th, right? Now, when does this say this account came off? Between the 7th and the 8th, right? I want to show you the account too. All right. You see the account? This was 24 hours. Same account. Up 61 points. And this stuff works. This stuff works. And I'm showing you guys step by step how it works. So you guys can go ahead and use this yourself. It's a very effective method. And every time we've run this play, guys, it's worked. So the only tricky side to submitting disputes directly is a few things, right? Equifax, when you're submitting your dispute directly through Equifax, sometimes, depending on whether you have a current dispute open, you're going to have to wait till it closes to submit it, right, for that specific account. Or there's other tactics that we've used. We've submitted FTC documents on other closed accounts for a different account that we want to remove, and the other account got removed. Because remember, these bureaus are only going to remove what's on the FTC report. They're not going to remove the account that you submitted the dispute through because it's not on that actual affidavit. But that's for people who really, really want to get their items removed. We haven't tried that method frequently. We've only done it once, but it's an option, right? And that's an option for specifically Equifax. And for Experian, the direct portal it's actually not even the website. It's a consumer upload website. It's one you can use to submit anything like documents or any other documents they requested from you. So if they for some reason told you that your FTC affidavit or your ID wasn't clear, you can actually, instead of logging in or mailing it or sending it through the CFPB, you can just upload it here and they'll get it within 24 hours. Like it sends the documents over to them within the same day or within 24 hours. They're going to tell you 24 hours, but as you can see, the results that we saw for this particular case was in less than 24 hours, right? It was literally from one day to the next. And in regards to TransUnion, the only downside to this is if you have any dispute, like even a one single open dispute with TransUnion, they don't allow you to dispute through the portal. So my best recommendation is to submit a dispute with one account and add all your affidavits, right? Add all your affidavits if you have more than one, or add the affidavit with all the accounts and see where it goes from there. Because again, the good news is the remedy is quick. So if you have to wait 24 to 48 hours for that account to be removed, and then you being able to go back and resubmit another dispute, you may have to do so, but that also can that can also depend on when they close the dispute. So if it takes them, a few days to close it, even though the item's been removed, you might have to wait a few days. But that is the only downside I've seen to this process is how open the portals are when you have current and active disputes. This works very well for anyone that doesn't have any current active disputes and is looking to remove, collections like tomorrow, right? Or within the next 48 hours. It's going to be perfect and suitable for you, but I do also recommend submitting the CFPB complaints as well as doing this process because I'm a big fan of documenting and I'm a big fan of giving the credit bureaus work, right? If they want to make our jobs harder and have to dispute more, then we'll give them more to investigate, right? Um, that's just how I feel. Any questions so far? Like that process seemed pretty straightforward and easy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so step by step. I couldn't have made this any easier. It's like you just literally follow the pictures and click step by step. All right. So since it's just you, right? We got time. That was pretty much it for that call.